Yeah, I did a few things like early on a couple friends' shorts and ideas and things like that. But I realized the Pandora box that could open.
Yeah.
And so I made it a point to never touch any equipment because I did not want to be associated with that.
Okay.
And so I didn't want people to think, oh, yeah, well, let's call Brandon because he's really good at this and this, because I only wanted to be associated with directing.
Okay.
So I tried not taking any other roles so that people were only calling me for one thing.
Right.
And I get no calls.
Welcome, everybody, to Does That Make Sense, the podcast. It's springtime. It's happening. I'm very excited. Here in Northeast Ohio, we have had some upper 70 temperatures, and then today it started snowing. So springtime in Ohio, that's awesome. I'm excited about today because we're just rolling. We're somewhere in the 2/3 range of hitting our goal, and it's just exciting. With me today is executive producer, shaved beard looking smooth, Brandon. What's going on, man?
Not too much. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. Ryan's off today because we're shooting a different day than normal, and I got him working on the weekend this weekend. So yeah, I know. Well, me or him? Him probably.
Yeah.
It's picture weekend for the studio for my wife. So I'm taking pictures of all the dance groups so we can edit them for the program. Yeah. So
we invited him to be here today, but he chose not to be.
Yeah, he's got to drive.
Yeah.
You got to drive, but he's got to come an extra day. So
I won't forgive him for it.
Yeah. I mean, you can hold the grudge.
Okay.
We all know how you feel about other people. You feeling good though?
I am feeling good. I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
I'm excited about this one.
Let's do it. Yeah, me too. With us today, special guests. We had to trick him into coming because he's generally behind the camera. We've talked about projects that I've worked with him on before on the podcast, so I'm excited to have him here in the studio, and we're going to talk about it a little more, plus a bunch of other things. Does that make sense, audience? Fans, friends, welcome Brandon Lazenko. What's going on, man?
Hey.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
You did trick me.
I did. I tricked you into this.
You've been asking me for a while.
A long time. I said, we have to have you on. I think you'd make a good guest. You came to me after the first couple weeks and you said, I like when Brandon's on. I hope it doesn't offend you, but he really outshines a little bit.
No, I said you were the heart. You were the heart of the podcast.
Okay.
You brought in like the emotion and the seriousness, and he was, the comedy relief.
Comedy relief.
Dude, I'll take it.
Yeah. And you even said you were like, I'll sit in on it until we can find people. And then you're like, this is kind of fun.
Yeah.
So it's fun having you on the couch over here and on cam.
Yeah, you started me off in a hole by roasting me on the first episode for not being here. Yeah. So I was like, what do you want me to just be the podcast villain? And you were like, yeah, be the podcast villain.
So and you're like, I will do it.
Yeah, it sounds like fun.
So Brandon, we've got two of them. So I'm going to call you both Brandon today.
Okay.
But I usually call you Lazenko if we have, and I've never actually asked, is that the exact pronunciation of your name?
I used to correct people and then I just stopped because it wasn't worth it.
So what is
it's Lazenko.
Zen, not Zank.
Yeah.
Like it's like.
A lot of people say Zank because it just rolls off the
does.
tongue. Lazenko.
But it's Lazenko.
It is Lazenko, yeah.
I like that better.
It is what it is.
It's going to be hard for me not to say Lazenko because that's what I'm so used to.
I tune it out. I'm 35 years old and I stopped caring at 10 years old.
Lazenko.
Yeah.
You don't look a day over 42.
Podcast villain. Strikes again.
Speaking of which, get behind the mic a little bit more for me, buddy.
Yes, sir.
I'm not used to taking direction. So let's just jump right into it. So whenever we have a first time guest on that's never been here before, if I've known them or if I've met them before that, we like to talk about how we met. So this is a pretty cool story. You and I met through, he's become a mutual friend, but Paul Moore, shout out Paul, he did some jobs for Replay early on. Did I ever tell you? We'll get into it. Let me just finish this one part, but I want to talk about the first job that we did because Paul is a bona fide professional.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And so he did a couple jobs with us, and I was actually sitting where you're sitting when this used to be my office. And I don't know if he texted or called, but we were talking, and he said, "Hey, I know that you guys do the residential thing. I've got a friend. We used to be roommates, at the college, all the connections, and he's looking for like new opportunity." I don't know if you had already quit or if there was some transitions.
It was a COVID situation.
It was a COVID situation. And so you had worked in, was it an actual residential facility, or was it more like just behavioral stuff?
It was a locked residential.
Yeah.
So it was a lot different than what Safehouse is. And I'll be honest with you, Safehouse is
nothing compared to it.
It is everything compared to it.
Okay.
Like it is night and day.
In a good way, or in a
good
please
way.
Send me back kind of way?
No. As a matter of fact, I've said many times that I'm really glad that I started my career in the place that I did, because I saw how bad it could be.
Yeah.
And then now it's just all downhill.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know how good it could be at that point.
It could be better. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and say this too, because I just heard a little buzz. I don't know if the mics picked it up, but in the studio, we're doing some construction outside of some of the other rooms. So if you hear if the mics pick up any clicks or poundings or whatever, that's what that is. We apologize. We tried to work around the thing, but we had an opportunity to shoot today, so we didn't want to move it. So if you hear it, that's what it is. We'll talk about what's going on down. We got some exciting things with DMR and the food service, and there's all kinds of cool things. So, but anyway, so Paul was like, "Hey, he's looking for a new opportunity. The COVID thing happened. I remember that. It feels like you've been with us longer than just that. What, 5 years, 6 years?
A little over 5.
Yeah. And so, his name's Brandon. We were roommates, and I was like, "Give me his number or give me his email." So I shot you the email. We kind of went back and forth. And then it was a good fit. Like, I brought you on board to run groups. You do therapeutic behavioral services for groups of kids. People who have listened to this understand what Safehouse is in general. You do, like, we have the campus broken up into 6 different houses. There's 2 residential boy houses. There's 1 group home boy house, 2 residential girl houses, 1 group home girl house. You do it. The houses are labeled by letter A, B, C, and D. Monday through Thursday, you do a group a day. And then the group home kind of fills into whichever one of those houses
if they want
to.
Most of the time the girls come, the boys
don't. Yeah.
They're usually taking naps or something.
That's not surprising. Yeah. Gaming. Yeah. Exactly. Using up all of our bandwidth. And so as a result of that connection, though, you went to Kent.
Yes.
You were a Kent student.
Yes.
What was your degree? Was it digital film or was it something else?
Actually, my degree was electronic media production, but it turned into DMP after me. I think I was one of the last people for it to be EMP.
Okay. But it's the same degree essentially. They just changed the name.
Yeah, same exact degree that Brandon has over here. So,
yeah. So you were you're like an elder millennial in terms of what was it? Electronic media production?
Yep. And the old KSUIF before we started getting paid. Like Brandon, KSUIF was Kent State Independent Films.
That's right.
And it was our own little film group on Kent campus.
Yeah.
Getting paid meant $40 every 2 weeks, by the way.
Well, you ended up being president of that club, right?
Vice president.
Vice president.
Yes.
You're okay with it, though.
Yeah, that meant I got more creative control rather than the other stuff, so that was pretty neat. I pushed hard for president, though. I pushed real hard.
Yeah, he campaigned and everything.
Yeah,
he probably had an extra $40 every week.
Yeah, I did, dude.
To put towards his campaign.
So this is a cool story because KSUIF was the way that I got connected to a lot of guys in replay because they did the teddy bear video, which you can find it on YouTube if you want to. You can search Safehouse Teddy Bear. So you can search the teddy bear video. It shows the history of how Safehouse kind of the idea was born. And so Brandon, I reached out to him because he used to come to Refuge as an after school program student. And so the connections and how this stuff works is wild because you're a Kent State student. When he graduated high school, he went to Kent State. He graduated. I wanted to do a short film. I reach out to him because of that project. I meet other Kent State students, which leads to Replay being a company where I know that there's people that can work, which leads to Paul Moore being a freelance guy to come onto a job because we needed a talented director of photography. And then he's incredibly talented. We'll talk about it, but you can see the fingerprints of people when they do a job. You know when Paul Moore shoots something because it's got that Paul Moore feel to it. It's just a very descriptive, very clear level of professionalism. And so he came on the job, and then we met through that. So it's just, it never ceases to amaze me how small the world can actually be, because we ended up being able to work on a project together, which we're going to talk about, October Roses. So you've been with Safehouse now for almost 6 years. It'll be 6 years, like in September. I was going to say the fall is when we usually do the evaluations. And so you've directed what? You're also a director. And what else have you done? What else? I mean, you have some writing that you've done.
I have. Yeah, I have. My KSUIF stuff, which I don't necessarily consider I wouldn't put it in my portfolio.
Okay, I get it.
So I would say that I have like 2 professional short films.
You don't want to talk about Mr. Spectacular, dude?
I mean,
is that a KSUIF project?
Yeah. And Paul Moore was the DP.
That's right. It looked great.
I appreciate that. But when it comes to college films, they are indeed college films.
Yeah.
So that's why that's not anything that I put forward, but it is a fun little watch.
It was fun.
Takes an hour to get through the whole thing, but
can people find it anywhere still?
It might still be on YouTube. I don't know if they took it off. I know that because I also did something called Heartbeat.
Okay.
Which is like more of like a hip hop dance concept short series thing. But KSOIF took that off of their YouTube page. So
Interesting.
It was too good.
Yeah, I don't.
And then you did your first big short film project. Talk about that.
Yeah, that was called. It was originally called The Man with the Brand, and then it went through a whole bunch of different name changes.
You had a lot of name changes
throughout
for that one.
Yeah, and essentially it was more of like a dark noir thriller drama based off of a teenager who is now out of like a human trafficking situation, and him reflecting on that and kind of how he navigates through that. And like I said, it is a thriller. So
the lead in that was great.
Oh, yeah.
I remember the lead being really good.
Thank you. That would be Jerome Hume.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he is really great to work with. He's very chill, very calm, very collect. Great guy.
Yeah. And what was what's the title? What'd you land on?
The official title that we landed on is A Serpent by the Nest.
Okay.
The second name was what? Caged Bird Sings or Doesn't Sing?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The second one was I Know What the Caged Bird Sings or something like that. It was kind of based off of Maya Angelou's.
Yeah. I remember talking about that because I thought that was really cool. But Serpent by the Nest, after watching the film, is like a perfect fit. It really did work out really well. And that you did well with that. Like, I mean, so talk about, I wanted to hear, because I mean, obviously we talk a lot about film. We talk a lot about film production because that's what, the team does: television, film, commercial, whatever. And so talk about the process because we've heard it from guys who have, they don't primarily focus as directors. They are, they'll play many hats: assistant director, producer, cameraman, a lot of grip work to start because that's kind of what everybody does to get started. So did you always know that you wanted to direct?
Yeah. So that's my thing. And I like how you said like grip work, because that's how you get started. I did a few things like early on a couple friends' shorts and ideas and things like that. But I realize the Pandora box that could open.
Yeah.
And so I made it a point to never touch any equipment because I did not want to be associated with that.
Okay.
And so I didn't want people to think, oh, yeah, well, let's call Brandon because he's really good at this and this, because I only wanted to be associated with directing.
Okay.
So I tried not taking any other roles so that people were only calling me for one thing.
Right.
And I get no calls.
I was about to ask, how's that working out for you? That's a unique approach. And then you answered the question for me, which is hysterical, because it could also work though, because like you hyper focus on something and you can hone that skill. But digital media, this is not the easy. It's not a very large business. I'm finding is that we've worked with the guy before. I won't say names about all this because I could say Paul Moore because I've worked with him. He's been on the thing. I know him. But there's a couple projects that there's people that have been worked on, and then I went and I saw Superman from 2025. I guess it was. Yeah, that's when the most recent one came out, right? And a guy that we both know that we both worked on. I see his name in the credits. As part of the do we want to I don't know that it matters. I guess his name is in the credits. It was John Sabella.
Oh yeah
worked on the Cleveland lighting crew for Superman.
Yes.
And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, I know that guy. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like I've worked with him, I've met him, he's over here, he's in the credits of a blockbuster film. But it's so funny too because then I guarantee you if you go to watch any movie that has like an Ohio film set, we're probably gonna see a name that we know.
And that's exciting.
And it's exciting, but it also speaks to the fact that it's not the largest industry in the world. Like they'll take work, And so, but it is interesting because there's two different kind of thought fields here where someone will look at it and go, I just want a job. I just want to be on a set. I'll do whatever you need me to do. If I got to set up Crafty, which is film talk for the craft services like the food. If I got to set up Crafty, I'll set up Crafty. If I got to haul C-stands, if I got to rig lights, if I got to gaff, if I got to whatever, I'll do it. And then there's this other one where it's like, no, I don't want to just do anything. I'm going to go make a living. And then when I get a call, I'm going to get a call. When a project speaks to me, I'm going to jump on it. And so Servant by the Nest was the first big project. You entered it into some festivals.
Yeah.
And how did do? I remember talking to you about it and I watched some of the critiques. There was some good response.
Thank you.
How'd it go for you?
So in regards to the way the film festival circuit works, that was my first big film. That was the first film that I submitted to film festivals, and I have learned a lot since then.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ranges and levels of festivals. There's kind of a more beginner intermediate level with festivals that you've probably never heard of and that have maybe been around for a year or two and might not exist in another year or two. And then you've got the festivals that are more local that have been more established. And then you've got the ones people have heard of. And then you've got the ones that like the celebrities go to.
Yeah, it's the ones that all the big pictures are there just to build buzz.
South by Southwest, all
Kane,
Sundance, all the big ones. So getting into the festival circuit, I submitted to more of the lower range intermediate festivals and it killed.
Yeah.
Killed. Which I'm proud of that.
It should be.
But and not a lot comes from that.
Right.
Because not a lot of people have heard of the festivals. There's not a lot of exposure at those festivals. So that's why when we did move into October Roses, I kind of took my what I had learned from that experience and realized that I wanted to aim towards higher quality festivals. And that's what we did with that project.
And so what was the time frame between let me ask this question first. How long did it take you from start to finish to do Serpent by the Nest? Do you remember?
Yeah, we started filming in 2017. So we actually did pre-production early 2017 and we finished 2021.
Okay. Who shot it?
Matt Petrunik shot it.
Okay, because he was the DP on October Roses too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so and then I realized this because there's a diner scene in Servant by the Nest. And I told you, I said, that looks a lot like a diner that's in Hubbard. And you said, we scouted that.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, it's just so cool to because 2017, I didn't know you. Like I was working here at Refuge. I wasn't at Safehouse. I worked with Safehouse because everybody knows my dad started it and I did stuff. I used to train, I wasn't in the role that I'm in now, not even close. So I was here every day and I lived in Hubbard. I still live in Hubbard, but I would go to that diner And then I'm like, man, that diner would make a good movie set. And then you were saying, we scouted it. We just couldn't make it work for what we needed.
We did make it work. We already were ready to show up. We had everything set up. And then we found out the day before we were ready to shoot that they closed and that there were new owners coming in.
Yes. It turned into a Mexican restaurant, which is weird. That's
insane.
Which is so funny because it was a diner, like a very typical 50s style diner. And it's by a railroad track.
Yeah.
And so a Mexican restaurant bought it, or owners that wanted to turn it into a Mexican restaurant. So this is funny, Brandon, is that they actually turned it into a Mexican restaurant, but because it was by a railroad track, they wanted to follow that theme. So the restaurant was called Railroad to Mexico, which I feel like in the current political climate probably wouldn't have worked. But it didn't last very long, unfortunately, and now it's back to being like a normal diner.
That's the issue. Is it just keeps going through different owners, and we ended
had
up
a deal with the one and then lost it.
Yeah, our shoot date was right in between too. So.
Oh man, it would have been cool, but the diner that's in it looked great.
Yeah,
like it was a fantastic thing. And so, how many years between that and October Roses?
I would say probably a year and a half. Because that's usually how I do things. Is there are a lot of directors and filmmakers that they're just constantly working on things, and that's what they say to do, is always be working on something.
Yeah.
And that's just not the advice that I have ever taken, and that's why I'm not a famous director. And so
but I like how you have your way of doing things.
I do have my own way of doing things. Like, I become attached to something and I do not move on until it's over. Right. And I don't want to change focus. That's what my focus is on. So that's what I did with October Roses. That's what I did with A Serpent by the Nest. When A Serpent by the Nest was over, I kind of just let the dust settle. I calmed down, and then I started thinking, okay, well, what's next? And then something came next. I'm not necessarily like always itching to be working on something. It needs to be right.
Yeah. In between this, didn't you get hired as a director for a film? Because you came to me and you said, I need about a week of some time. We're going to do a shoot. And it was a short. What was that project? Did that ever finish?
Yeah.
How did that? Do you want to talk about it? Your reaction is like, I don't know. We can leave names out if you want to just. So,
Paul. Okay.
This is great. Okay.
Yeah, let's see where this goes.
Oh yeah, I'm following you.
So yes, that did happen. It was a really strange script, something that I typically wouldn't do. But what happened is, I had finished A Serpent by the Nest, and we had already started pre-production for October Roses, and somebody had came to me and asked to step in as director for a film that they were doing as a favor, because the person whose film it was the writer, and they were the lead actor as well. Okay. So they were trying not to overwhelm themselves with also a director role.
Yeah.
So I was asked to come in. I said, for sure, that sounds like a good idea. Get my feet wet again before I step on set for October Roses. And it was a really great experience for the most part. I met a guy named Jared Noble, who ended up being in October Roses and is a really good friend. And he's also going to be the lead actor in my next film.
Awesome. What role did he play in October Roses?
He was Ace, the bald guy.
Oh, I've met him a couple times. Yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah, he really was good on screen.
Oh, yeah. He amazing. His action scenes, I told him, man, he could be the next Jason Statham.
Yeah?
Like, his action scenes are really good. So believable.
Yeah. He reminds me so much of Sean Evans from Hot Ones.
You've said that before.
There is a real resemblance.
Yeah.
Okay, so that project, you shot it.
Yeah.
And then what happened? Did it get produced all the way?
It's, that's the thing with me, is anytime you sign on a project with me, don't hold your breath. It's a process.
Yeah.
It's not going to be expedited. It's going to be
what it is.
It's going to be done when it's done.
Yeah.
And it did recently get finished, but not as me. Or not with me as the final director. I did take a step back.
Okay.
Because it did take so long between when we shot and when the film was finished, the filmmaker involved got a lot more experience and had a lot more ideas and became a lot more involved in post-production. And he had a lot of really great ideas that just didn't necessarily work with the ideas that I wanted to do.
This is a real Marvel Cinematic Universe situation.
It was kind of like a part ways, like,
yeah,
hey,
like you're the director for the shoot, and he took the reins after he didn't need to be in front of the camera again.
Exactly. So I kind of, it was his film. He was the producer, the writer, the lead actor. He wanted to be the director. So
hard to wrestle that.
I kind of just, I look at it as I was just now help on set, just kind of like a creative advisor.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily my project anymore, but it was recently finished, and it's a beautiful film.
Yeah,
it is. But it's strange.
Is it available to see, or is it just he got it like locked
last
down?
I heard that he has submitted it to film festivals.
Okay.
I don't know what ones, and I have not heard what the results have been. But
can we say the name of the film? Do you know the name of it?
It's called The Servant.
The Servant?
Yeah,
okay.
and it's a strange one. So like if you're into thrillers, it's a thriller plus.
Okay.
A thriller plus, as Trump would say.
I got a joke. Maybe we'll explain it later, but Brandon had a good plus joke earlier.
It's gonna be a hard sell.
It's a hard sell. Yeah, it's not gonna work for this moment.
But so I thought about it too when he said plus.
We'll just let it hang. Nobody will know. Because October Roses went through several rewrites. And so when you say pre-production, had you locked the script when you took this director role, or were you still writing it?
I don't even remember.
There was like 7 or 8 full scripts to October Roses.
Oh yeah, we went through a lot of different ideas, different characters. I can't pin down the overlap exactly of what was going on when.
That's a lot of creative balls to juggle, I think.
Yeah.
Not that this matters, but this is just for my own curiosity. So the film is in festivals right now that you were asked to direct because the filmmaker was in it and didn't want to overwhelm themselves. Do you have a director's credit?
I did not take a director's credit again because I felt like, again, the final result is a beautiful film and it's exciting. It's not me. It doesn't like highlight.
Did he offer one?
Absolutely.
And then you're just like, listen, this has got your fingerprints on it. I would have gone a creatively different way.
Exactly.
So
it's not about credits for me. It's about me maintaining a certain image of like when you hear a Lazenko film, you expect a certain thing.
Yeah.
And his film was great. It's just not something that I would have put out. And so I just don't want there to be any type of misunderstanding.
I get it. That's fair. I mean, it's your name. The name, with any project, the name is the brand, And so.
The man with the brand.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Full circle, everybody.
That's right.
Clip it for the socials.
I am the man with the brand.
And so I love that. And I think it's great that you're not greedy. Because, if you're going to be, and there's a certain element of this too, where, and I think this because you're obviously doing it, is that if you're not going to take every job, if you're not going to just go onto a set and do whatever because you just want the work, then greed is not really an option. If you're going to be picky, being picky and being greedy is not a good combo. It makes it even harder to make you a marketable person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so if you are going to be picky, which is fine, you want to work on projects you care about and you want to have a certain role that you play on set, there's nothing wrong with that. Once you get that though, you want to be careful how greedy or how much you demand a certain level of unless it's your project. If it's your project from start to finish, I want it this way. This is the way it's going to be. So speaking of that, let's talk about how October Roses came to be. Now, my perspective is that I was at a conference for a different part of our kind of endeavors. My dad and I were in Florida for it's not just exclusively fishing. It was an outdoor like trade show because we were promoting the King Cat brand and the different stuff with the TV shows and the fishing thing.
iCast?
Yep, exactly. It was iCast in Daytona, Florida. And you called me and you said, hey, do you want to work on a Stephen King film? And that was how you started the phone call. And I was like, what? And so you explained to me the Dollar Baby program, which has since been shut down, but explain to people who don't know what the Dollar Baby program is.
Yeah. So for 50 plus years, Stephen King ran what he called his Dollar Baby program. And what it is he takes his lesser known stories,
Right.
And sells them to up and coming filmmakers for $1.
Yeah.
And so they get to take a Stephen King film and get to put it out there with Stephen King's name and with
the actual rights.
Yeah,
You're buying the rights
exactly.
for a specified period of time.
They are an exclusive rights.
Yes.
They are not exclusive.
Right. Okay.
So we did the story Nona, and there are other Nonas out there.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I called it October Roses, is because I didn't want to just fall into the pit of other Nonas.
Yes.
But for 50 plus years, filmmakers have been applying to take some of his shorter stories and turn them into films. One of the most popular in history is Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, okay.
Frank Darabont, bought the rights to Shawshank Redemption, which is actually Rita Hayworth in the Shawshank Redemption, as the original title of the short story, for $1. And then that film blew up, and I'm pretty sure IMDb still ranks it as the highest rated movie in history.
The full feature.
Yeah, the full feature.
So the full feature ended up coming about because of...
No. Back then, he could do features.
So you could do features with...
Yeah, so the rules changed over time.
So is the actual final cut of Shawshank Redemption what was... That wasn't the Dollar Baby project.
As far as I know, it is. Now,
so they had...
I don't know if this is like the...
I'll look it up, but I thought that it was because of his Dollar Baby, he got Shawshank.
Oh.
I thought. I'll look it up, though,
because,
while you guys are yapping.
Because, I know, Whiplash is a movie that I love. And it was a short film. Whiplash was a short film because J.K. Simmons was in the short film.
Yeah.
And then it just was like, we got to make this a feature.
A lot of films are like
this
that.
This is a movie.
Lights Out is like that. And
that's a good one, too.
Saw.
Those were shorts?
Saw was a short before it became an entire film series. Yeah.
And so, okay. So now there were certain rights that Stephen King... You got something?
I do.
Yeah.
You want to finish, or you want me to...
I was just going to say that he maintains rights that if the film does really well and he really likes it, he can take the rights back. Right?
That slimy bastard.
It's not like it's not his... It's not like he's not the greatest thriller author of all time.
There's not a lot I can really complain about because he gave me an opportunity I wouldn't have gotten from anybody else.
Right.
But... the rights that I don't know exactly how the rights evolved throughout the program over the years, but when I got involved, the contract that I signed stated that our film could not be over 40 minutes, and that it could not be released online or anywhere that could potentially generate some type of money.
Income.
So that means I couldn't put it on YouTube because YouTube's going to attach ads to it and make money off of that.
Even though you're not the one making money.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it was pretty much restricted only to film festivals.
Right.
And that is different from how the rules were before.
Right.
As far as
and that's
I know.
a big question for us now is because it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Are we still restricted to those?
Yeah, we don't know.
We've talked about posting it.
Yeah, and again, as far as I know, Warner Brothers is the one that looks for it because Warner Brothers owns the Dollar Baby program, is what I was told at the Stephen King convention.
Had it been shut down at that point?
Yes. So the Dollar Baby program shut down maybe 6 months after our film premiered.
Dude, did you shut it down?
Dude,
did you shut it down?
He probably watched it and was like, dude.
He watched October Roses and is like, we can't do this anymore, guys.
I literally sent him a DVD copy addressed to Stephen King in the mail, first class. 6 months later,
he shut it down.
After 50 years.
50 years of films based on his short films. He watched October Roses and was like, we can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Not that it was bad, but maybe because it's this is supposed to be for college students and you guys spent a bag on it. You know, maybe it was something like
It
that.
wa-
It's
yeah.
not because it was bad. I don't think.
Now, see, this is why I'm asking.
It's perfectly imperfect is how I look at
Sure.
it.
Yes. I would
So
agree.
before I say the next thing, what did you find out about Shawshank?
Okay, so The Shawshank Redemption, 1994, was not a Dollar Baby film itself. It was a major studio production, but its director, Frank Darabont, became a, quote, Dollar Baby, end quote, by previously adapting Stephen King's short story, quote, The Woman in the Room, end quote, for $1.
So
there we
he
go.
got the gig because of the short film.
Because of his dollar.
Now,
Okay.
see, now that is still a cool story. Because I was about to be like, they bought the rights for $1, called up Morgan Freeman, and is like, hey, you want to be in my short film or my feature?
I mean, they had the budget to spare if they had the rights for $1.
Seriously. So October Roses, based on Nona, 70s novella short story from Stephen King, tells the story. I mean, I think that the final project was fantastic, spectacular. I was on a vacation. The shoot week just happened to fall on a week that I was on vacation. And so I didn't get to be a part of the whole set. You were able to recruit and get on board. Like, he believed in the vision. Really well-known name in the business in who?
Robert Kurtzman.
And so known for a lot of like practical makeup effects and
Nightmare on Elm Street.
was a part of From Dusk Till Dawn.
He created From Dusk Till Dawn.
Like wrote it, right? Did he write it or was he producing it?
So this is the story as he gave me. He was one of the first people to give Quentin Tarantino his break in Hollywood. At the time, Kurtzman had this idea for still in Shawshank Redemption.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Right.
And he just didn't have a writer for it. And some of his buddies on set said, oh, we know this guy who is a really good writer. And they pointed him towards Quentin Tarantino, who at the time was just working at a video store. And so they met up and Kurtzman read, I think he said it was Natural Born Killer.
Okay.
And 2 other of his scripts before they were ever like movies.
Of Tarantino's scripts.
Of Tarantino's.
Yeah. Okay.
And was like, okay, this is my guy. Paid Tarantino $1,500 to write the script. And Tarantino took that $1,500, quit the video store, and has been working film ever since.
So you're welcome, world.
Yeah. And now that's the story as I remember
He
it.
can say.
Yeah.
Because Tarantino is your favorite director, Brandon.
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
That is
so,
correct.
I mean, are we done?
I nerded out when I met Kurtzman, but unfortunately it wasn't for Kurtzman. You know what I mean?
You're 1 degree away from my favorite director, bro.
Yeah.
Your hands touched his hands.
Yeah, you're 1 degree of separation from Quentin Tarantino.
Dude,
now.
that's so true.
It is super cool.
Yeah.
We watched Pulp Fiction at a movie theater for your birthday one year.
That is
you
correct.
rented it out.
Yeah, because I was not old enough to see it in theaters.
So you got to watch it.
I wanted
you had
to
to
see
bring
it.
your own Apple TV to plug it in.
No, we just had to have. Did I have to bring my own Apple TV?
I remember.
No, I think
you
it was
telling
like
me story.
they had a bunch. They had like all the streaming services, so they used an Apple TV to log into like Netflix and
That's
play
so
it.
funny. And then project it onto the screen. That was a good time.
It was really neat.
I still remember the wings I ate that night because the food was so good. And I'm like, this theater is awesome. I literally just walked up to me and were like, here's your food. And I was like, I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
And so, okay, back to October Roses, written by a previous guest, Michael Durkee, and your, at that point, was not your wife. She is your wife now.
She's my wife now.
Shelby.
Yes.
So, because I remember when we were going through the credits, because Ryan, who's on the 1s and 2s usually, was your editor, right? And I remember when I was talking to him, I'm like, why did the credits say Shelby? I'm going to say the name right now, Shelby Lazenko. And you were like, because by the time it was going to be out there, we had planned to be married, and she was.
A lot of people thought that
you had secretly gotten married beforehand,
which we ended up actually getting secretly married.
but after that,
yeah, but after that,
that's like how you tell everybody. You're like, come to our premiere, and oh, surprise, we got married. And so Kent State worked with you. You got to do a premiere at Kent State. The Kurtzmans were there. I have an email somewhere in my email box that's a forward from you that shows an exchange with Stephen King.
Yeah.
Like he never said he watched it, but it was implied that he was that he was aware.
The information I was given from, I think her name was Margaret, the woman who won or who ran the Stephen King Dollar Baby program at the time, was that he had watched the trailer.
Okay.
And this was before the film was done, before I had sent him the
You had
DVD.
to get permission to do the premiere.
Yes.
Right.
Kent State, they put in a lot of money into the premiere.
Yeah.
Like, it was absolutely beautiful, and I could not have asked for better.
Yeah.
But they wanted to make sure that they covered all of their bases before they started promoting.
They did a door charge. Or not a door charge.
No, yeah,
What'd
they did do a door
Yeah.
charge, but it was free for alumni.
Okay.
But it was door charge for anybody who was an alumni. But
Yeah.
to cover their bases so they wouldn't get in trouble for like screening a Stephen King movie, they were like, can you like specifically get
Can we
permission?
get documentation that
Exactly.
it's okay? Yeah.
So I had reached out to Margaret and I said, hey, this is what we plan on doing. This is how the event plans on working. Can we have permission?
So no money was made. It just covered the cost of the event.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I guarantee you they lost money because that event
I mean, there was a lot
so
of people
nice.
there, but it wasn't this ridiculous thing. There was good food. There was
Yo,
drinks.
the food was like top notch.
Yeah,
yeah.
it was
The
fun.
drinks. It was open bar. Everybody walked in with like the classic like 50s little popcorn bag thing. Like, it was super cute.
You did a panel where somebody like emceed, like moderated like a Q&A.
Yeah.
It was a good time. It was a fun project to like see the finished product. I remember Durgie was sitting next to me, and the film is not like obscene, but it's a thriller, and there's certain elements of it where it's like some people would find it to be like, ooh, I don't like this in a movie. And I remember Durgie leaned over to me because I was sitting right next to him during the premiere, and he leaned over and he goes, dude, my parents are here. And I'm like, his parents, I don't know. Everybody's parents, they're embarrassed by if their parents see them in a way that's other than whatever. And so, I was like, I don't think there's anything in here. And then literally right as I'm saying that, something happened. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
Grabs the lady by her hair, throws her in the
He
trailer.
throws her in
right
the trailer, and then and so I think it's I want to tell this story too, and I think we've talked about it on the podcast. I don't want to incriminate us, but I still think about the fact that I wonder if at some point somebody was walking along a creek shore and found what they thought was a dead body. Because there's one scene in the film where somebody throws what's supposed to be a dead body over a bridge. And you never went and got it.
No, it's sandbags in like a trash bag tied up to look like the shape of a body.
Yeah.
Because it was a very wide shot, so we had them kind of just
heave it
over.
Yeah.
So it looked like dead weight. And then we threw it in this river underneath this bridge.
You're down in the Mansfield area, right?
Yeah, and then it just took it, and we just kept the shot rolling, and it was at the point where it was like...
I mean, you're like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. at this point, probably, right? Like middle of the night.
This was...
So you hit cut, and you're like, everybody, we're done. Wrap and go.
There were 3 of them.
3 bodies? You throw them all?
Yeah.
You took 3 shots? You took 3 takes of that shot?
Well, there was one that was supposed to be a practice.
Okay.
And then he was supposed to do 2 in the shot because he kills 2 people.
Oh,
but then he only does 1 in the shot, which leaves me with 1 left over. And then now it's like, well, shoot, now I can't just do another shot with 1.
Yeah.
And so we had to make it seem like, he just left the other body back there.
I never really caught the fact that
somebody asked that.
2.
Somebody asked that during the Q&A at the end of the...
Those are the people that...
That was a cheap shot.
Those are the people that fix the trivia on IMDb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like...
Let it go.
Chill with the Wikipedia,
Just open your creative brain.
Yeah, you know what?
He was killed in a car, and now you see him in a different car.
And
he left that body in a car.
Also, we're talking about murder.
Yeah.
That's not the thing to talk about.
Yeah.
Like the disposing of the bodies, continuity errors.
Yeah. It's the obstruction of justice that's the problem. Not the murder.
And so I remember after you guys were done shooting and I didn't see like dailies. Like I have a producer credit, but it was only because I was a part of like pre-production and kind of helped you and I talked a bunch about it. And there was a little bit of, there was some funding, a little bit that I helped with. Nothing. I mean, it was fun. I probably had the easiest part of the whole project because I was on a beach when you guys were filming. And so I remember seeing that. And then I remember asking Brandon, did anybody go get those? And Brandon went, I don't think so. And I was like, okay, so what happened? So what if some 7-year-old kids fishing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they're like, I got a big one. And then they reel in.
Yeah.
We still don't know.
We don't know.
Somebody found it, had to have found it.
I mean, by now, yes, but I do remember David Kirst, who was one of the producers and our huge Mansfield rep for the area. He did reach out to the police afterwards and let them know, hey, if you do get a call,
I didn't know that.
Don't show up with lights and sirens.
SWAT teams and this whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said there was 3 of them. Just want to let you know you might get calls. But I don't know what happened from there.
That's wild. Now, Mansfield is kind of infamously, because of Shawshank, it's infamously kind of a hotbed plate, like a hot spot for filming.
Which was a really cool...
Didn't you I want you to say what you're going to say, but didn't you recreate one of the sets?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were originally going to... So the film is kind of layered in regards to timeline. It's like most previous timeline is our main character in prison reflecting on the things that he had done through flashbacks. So the prison that we were going to shoot in was the Mansfield Reformatory, which is the Shawshank prison. But unfortunately, because of scheduling issues, we weren't able to make it work. But we did find out that there was another film that shot in the area recently that made a... exact replica of one of the cells, and we bought the replica off of them, which was arguably even better because we could take the ceiling off and move the walls out and get way better shots. Those
scenes were beautiful.
Oh yeah,
they were really
some of my
well
favorite
done.
shots, to be honest. But what's really cool and kind of a full circle moment is we had a lot of extras on our set that were also extras in Shawshank Redemption when it filmed decades ago.
Okay.
From the area.
Wow. Because they used a lot of extras from that area.
And people come in and be like, hey, my dad was an extra on Shawshank Redemption.
That's
and
cool.
he passed a few years ago. So being here on set really I feel really close to him.
Stuff. Yeah.
So it was an emotional experience for some people.
There's a big Mansfield film club movement because of, and that they really hang their hat on that fact that they had that. Okay, so I want to talk about you did that in festivals, right?
Yeah,
mixed. You didn't get bad reviews.
No,
it didn't quite hit the the award section of those things the way that you had hoped or people had hoped until.
Yeah,
the last one.
So I previously explained the different levels of film festivals.
Right.
Now I didn't go after the South by Southwest or the Sundance or anything like that, but I did go after the ones that people have heard of. And because this is a Stephen King film, I've mostly focused on the horror genre festivals, kind of like Sitges. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong because it's French, and HorrorFest and Scream Fest and all of these other Popcorn Frights. I know that's one down in Florida, and a lot of movies that screen at Popcorn Fest end up on Shudder, which is a horror specific streaming.
I've seen Shudder,
so I was focused a lot on those,
right?
And we didn't get into pretty much any of those.
Okay,
and I was requesting feedback back, and I did get feedback back from one of the festivals, and they sent me their notes from all of the judges, and all of the judges said that they really liked the film. It was a high contender. The only issue is for a short film, it's very long. It was about 29 minutes and change. So when you're looking at creating a festival and you're sitting people in an audience for short films, you're looking at 10, 15-minute pops. You put something that's in there that's 30 minutes, you're taking now 3 films away that could be other people coming in. And so what the note said is that it would work well as an anchor at the end of a block, but it never really ended up getting that.
Yeah.
But it did get into Smodcastle HorrorFest, which is Kevin Smith's festival.
And not only that, but it got an award.
Yeah, it won 2 awards.
It won 2 awards. What were the awards?
We won Best Kill and we won Best Short Film.
Which kill was it for?
Which kill was it?
Flashlight.
Nice.
Which was a Kurtzman special.
Yeah, that was his own death. So.
Yeah. That was fire.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That was a good one. And I remember when I watched that, I congratulated Ryan on what I thought was a really good edit.
Oh yeah, for
that.
sure.
Because
he was working with continuity issues too, which a lot of people don't recognize in that shot. Is that it's 2 shots back and forth, and one shot is our guy swinging the flashlight, and then the other shot is shooting down, but the thing is his arms are on the guy's chest in that shot, and then the other, his arms are like swinging around. Yeah. So it was a really tough scene to
and not
cut.
only that, but because of the nature of the character, he and this is where the thriller part of the film comes in, is that the one that he's hitting changes because he's essentially kind of lost his grip on reality. Yeah. And so, so there's continuity, not just in the actual practical aspect of it, but I mean,
it's written in there.
It's written in there that there's going to be like a twist. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's more of a reveal into what's going on in the mind of the lead. And, I remember looking at the shots are beautiful. I remember when I was looking at, you and I talked about budget. I'm like, these are expensive cameras and lenses. Yeah. And you're like, yeah. And we got to get insurance on them because there's only a few of them. And I'm like, okay.
I remember our first meeting. We were like, this might cost like 40, and we're like,
yeah, we can't do it for that.
And then it ended up costing twice as much.
That. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Thankfully, I mean, I didn't have to pay for it. I mean, I helped out with some stuff, but we got some, there was a funder.
Yes, so there is somebody who is very involved and a very lovely person who loves to see people have opportunity. Yeah, and that's exactly what it was. And
isn't that the way it goes for any project though? Like no matter what the project is, I remember thinking about that with an after school program. We were funded by donations, and I hate trying to raise money because I hate asking people for money. And so there was a business that came along and said, "Hey, we'll give you X amount if you can make it work for this amount. And if you can't, then you are going to be responsible to make up the difference." And so I did both. I cut the budget a little bit. I was able to get it closer. I only had to raise a little bit instead of a lot. I was able to focus on the programming for the kids. And we helped. I mean, Refuge served over 500,000 meals out of this building as a result of somebody generating, that, so I can focus in on the program. Yes. And so you just need somebody to believe in you,
And that's the thing though. And that's where I feel like if I ever have money, my first thing I'm going to do is give people opportunity. Like that's the thing, is like, that's what money is for.
Yes. I agree.
Not to hoard up
and keep and spend all on your own, but to generate opportunities for other people. I think that's awesome. Yeah. Before we get to we're at 50 minutes already.
Yeah, we are. I was going to hit you with that one's got to go thing.
Okay, let's do the one's got to go. Here, we're going to have you back on. Okay. Because one thing I wanted to talk about that we didn't get into is your love of games. Yeah. Like board games and all kinds of stuff. Because you make up games. Yeah. And then you'll sell them or make them available to people.
They're on Etsy. I've made a few $1,000s on Etsy.
That's awesome. Make sure that we get Brandon's like, that's impressive. I didn't know that. Yeah. Make sure that you get links to everything and we'll put them in the description. Okay. Because you use some of these games at Safehouse.
Well, specifically, I make the games for Safehouse and then use it for Etsy.
I didn't write that into your employee contract. I missed an opportunity. I'm just kidding. But I think it's great because you've even talked to me about it, and I'm like, please, like, this is so fun. Like, it would be. It's such a cool story to be a part of that kind of thing. Yeah. And so let's make sure that we post links, Brandon, and make sure that you get this. So we play a game. We've done it with a couple different people, and obviously, as a director and as a filmmaker, we're gonna do this with you. We call it One's Gotta Go. Yep. And we have 4 directors. And I already know one that you're not going to get rid of. It's very easy for me. But we have 4 directors that we're going to give you, and you have to get rid of one. Yeah. You can keep 3. You have to get rid of one. Who are they, Brandon?
So it is, I'm going to try and remember the correct order. Quentin Tarantino, Christopher Nolan, Steven Spielberg, and Ari Aster. That's definitely not the correct order, but...
So I think
does the order matter?
No,
it was for the picture. I was trying to find it earlier.
Right. I already know the one that you're not going to get rid of. Because Spielberg's your favorite director. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So who would you get rid of?
Here's my thing. Spielberg's a no. Ari Aster's got a bright future ahead of him.
Okay, that was our same argument.
Yeah, that's
Is
why
that
he feels like the one that's shoehorned in there, but
Yeah.
his future's so bright that it's like
you don't want
I don't want to get rid of
to
him.
strip the
Exactly.
world of what he might create.
Because the thing is I'm assuming getting rid of one also means you have to get rid of everything
Their
they've
projects.
created and all of the how that's affected the film.
Yes, it's like
Yeah.
they never existed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one has to go.
I would definitely be between Tarantino and Christopher Nolan. It's just the question. And I know you're shaking your head over there, Brandon.
A psychopath.
Well, I mean-
an actual psychopath.
Well, you're going to get rid of Jurassic Park and
Yeah, dude.
E.T.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely. And the
You're-
Goonies.
you-
And the Goonies, dude.
Did I
Get rid
say
of it.
Spielberg? I
Crazy.
don't remember what I said.
I said Spielberg.
Did I say
You said
Spielberg?
That's
Spielberg, dude.
crazy, dude.
I don't even remember what I said.
Literally, if you ask anybody, walk outside, say, name a film director.
They're
The
gonna
first
say
person they're going to say is Spielberg.
gonna
And
say
that's the
Spielberg.
person you're going to get rid of, the person who represents all of us.
You know what? I'm going to do a little test between this one and one of the next pods, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to see what they say.
Okay.
And I'm going to see how many times someone says
So
Spielberg.
do it. We never
Because I bet
did-
you no one under 50 says Spielberg.
Well, listen to rap songs. Anytime they talk about movie and rap songs, it's always
Spielberg's
Spielberg.
in there.
Psych. It's always Tarantino, bro. It's always Tarantino.
Here's what I want to do. We're going to poll this on socials. Okay? And I don't think that we did that the first time. I think that we
did not.
posted it and we just asked the question, but we didn't like do an actual poll.
Correct.
So we're going to ask, we're going to get the picture again, which we'll post, we'll put the 4 options and we'll see what people think. Spielberg, Aster, Nolan, and Tarantino. And yeah, that's crazy. And my thing was, I don't rewatch Spielberg films. Jurassic Park's the only one that I
And
rewatch.
you know what? I actually just saw something came out and I read it, but it said that experts have finally decided that the most rewatchable movie in history is Jurassic Park.
Is it? Is
Yeah.
that what they said?
Yeah.
That's not mine.
Scientists said that, huh?
Scientists.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what
They busted out the big guns for that
I
one.
have watched The Martian and Moneyball and Steve Jobs with Michael Fassbender. Probably collectively 30 times.
Mm-hmm.
I love those films.
they're good movies, but those are one-time watches. For
I'm
me.
telling you, Brad Pitt is underrated. Him in Moneyball is so good. I think
Moneyball's great.
I think he's an underrated actor.
It's a two-time watch. Would you say Brad Pitt is
I
an
think
underrated
he's
actor?
underrated because I think he's pretty, and I think people focus on him as a pretty guy.
No.
And they do not give him his flowers.
No. Brad Pitt
He's
takes
got
his
one-
career very seriously.
I agree with this. I think that the consumer underrates his acting ability.
It was all because of Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Do you think? I mean, well, yeah,
He lost his credibility on that one.
okay. It wasn't a bad film.
Yeah, but it's just
It was a money grab. It was a blockbuster.
yeah.
It
But
ruined his-
it's not a serious film. All of his other movies are like serious films. Like even Troy, which is, not a serious film, is still like a historically serious film.
I have said this. I don't think that I have ever seen a specimen of the male like anatomy in a way that's like that's what I would want to look like until I saw Brad Pitt in Troy. I was like, this dude is
Oh, yeah.
perfect.
Oh yeah.
Like chiseled.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is not fair. This is not what people look like. But then I watched older movies of his.
Yeah.
Like I just recently for the first time saw Seven.
Oh.
It's
see that.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that Fincher? David Fincher, right? And then him in Fight Club. Genius.
banger.
Brilliant.
Amazing.
One
Now,
of the
what
best.
about Fury? Have you seen Fury?
I have not watched Fury
Fury
yet.
is amazing, and as a matter of fact, Paul copied Brad Pitt's haircut for like 3 years
That's
after
what
seeing
Andy
that
does.
movie.
Andy
I
copies
do
that.
like the haircut. I've seen it. I don't have the length on top the way I used
True,
to.
true.
But I do love that cut.
You know, like when you go into like
I think
Like
I
a
look like
barber
Brad
shop.
Pitt when I have it, and then I walk past the mirror and I'm like, no, I look like his cousin Jeff. You know what I mean? Like this
Jeff
is
Pitt.
Jeff Pitt. I look like his cousin Harry.
Before we get too far away from it, he still hasn't answered. He narrowed it down to Nolan and
Okay.
Tarantino.
I thought you said you were going to get rid of Nolan.
Or Tarantino.
Oh,
Did you
I
narrow-
said-
did.
or Tarantino.
Thanks for bringing it around.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
If I were to make an answer, I would have to say I enjoy, and you're going to hate this.
You son of a bitch.
You're getting rid of Tarantino.
Because I like Christopher Nolan's movies personally better than I like Tarantino's movies, and I'm a horror person, but still there's just something about his movies that don't click with me.
I get it.
And they click with everybody except for me, and I get that. Like,
I get it.
And I get, like, you know, in a way, if I were to somehow make it, you know, me and Tarantino are kind of like film brothers because Kurtzman both gave us a shot.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a kindredness.
There's a kindredness, but like he's just not he's amazing.
Yeah.
And I can't say he's bad at what he does.
The films just aren't your bag.
Yeah, they're just not for me. And
Right.
I like the Batman movies. And that's about as like that's the only thing that's saving Nolan right now is the Batman movies.
I still haven't seen Interstellar all the way through.
It's good. 2-time watch for me.
2-time watch for you?
That's a
2-time watch for me.
17-time watch
17-time watch for you?
Yeah. Mhm.
I mean, I've watched Oppenheimer 4 times.
I haven't seen it yet.
And it's not one that you should rewatch.
It's not 4-time
It's not a
rewatchability.
4-time, but there's something about the history of it for me is like, did this really happen? And it's based on American Prometheus, which is the book written about Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
And so it's the source material is accurate, you know, and of course they took liberty, but the source material is accurate. It's written, you know, and so it was so good that after the movie, I went home and I bought the book. Like, I'm like, and then I started reading it and I'm like, this is dry. This is not, I'm going to watch the movie again.
Yeah.
But like, Murphy is phenomenal. He's great. I'm watching Peaky Blinders on Netflix now because I just can't get enough of him on screen. Like, just a fantastic.
You know what I don't understand is how women find him attractive. Like,
Listen.
he apparently is a heartthrob, and I just do not
You don't
see it.
see it?
I've asked my wife, and she's like, "Yeah, 100%."
It's an aura, man. It's a vibe.
Don't think
It's an aura. There's something about, like, we're talking about Brad Pitt. You're like, that makes sense.
he looks like a strong,
know what I mean?
independent woman.
Those cheekbones, dude.
I'm telling you, it's not always about what you see, what the structure is. There's a vibe, man. There's something about it. So,
That's not hitting me.
which is okay too. To each his own. So, okay. Don't know where we're at. Where are we at?
All over the place.
Yeah, we really are. So your one that's got to go is going to be Tarantino, which is a hot take, but not as hot as us getting rid of the most well-known director in the history of cinema.
No, it is. It's hotter, I think.
And so, yeah, because I do think more people have watched Spielberg films than probably any of those other ones combined.
Spielberg is just more nostalgic to everybody.
I agree. I remember I struggled with Spielberg after there was a certain point where I watched a movie that had Steven Spielberg's name as director, and I was like, I didn't like it as much. And then the next one came out, I'm like, this one's going to be a banger. And then I watched it, and I was like, I don't like it as much. Do you know what I mean?
No.
And then it doesn't make sense. Yeah. And so for me, I was just like, man, I'm more entertained now by the other directors' films now.
Ready Player One, that's my favorite Spielberg movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Oh my God. Talk about nostalgia.
I think it's funny because I was like, did they steal the design for the Apple Vision Pro from that movie? Mm-hmm. Because good for Steven Spielberg, because he's a revolutionary.
But 2 hours away.
And just watch it.
It's worth it.
See, it's notorious. I'm notorious on the podcast for talking about how I can never watch a film in one sitting because, like, I have children and like
go to the movies,
do something. I do love, but that's the only way I can watch a movie all the way through. Is I have to leave my family.
You have to put money down.
I have to
like,
put money down and go away.
Yeah.
Yeah, where I'm not allowed to answer. I'm in a theater. And so, anyway, so we're gonna wrap here in a second, but before we do, we have a regular thing because I want to watch these reaction videos. But to recap, check out the link or links in the description to find your Etsy, so we can push your games out there so people can play games. Sure. My family and my friends, we're big gamers. When we do like friend nights or whatever, we play games.
Well, you know what? I've told you about Fitted for Survival, and I actually did that yesterday with the girls, and one of the girls said, Mr. Brandon, this is the most fun game we've ever played. Do you ever plan on selling this?
And you're like, as a matter of fact.
I said, well, if the opportunity arises.
Yeah. All right, so let's watch some reaction videos and see what we got here.
All right, guys, this one's called New Milk Sock.
Oh, disgusting.
Bro.
I'm so mad at
I
you.
think it's smart.
Okay.
Would
I
the
have
milk
so
stay?
many questions.
He's got a hat on that says "Eat MSG." By the way,
Okay. Now,
Okay, would the milk stay for real?
I mean, it looks like it was pretty well, dude. Look, he's even got the Grillo pickles in the background. Those are the best pickles you can
it's
get your hands on.
literally like he has got an udder in his hand.
I have so many questions because I want to know legitimately if you pour milk in a sock, it's not just going to leak out?
Well, okay. The next time I come on, we'll do that.
Okay.
That'll be-
We're bringing milk.
Yeah. Now, I'm assuming you picked this video because you know that cereal is 80% of my diet.
No, I didn't.
You are a big, we've talked about this.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
good to know.
It's like
though.
dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dinner and dessert
Yeah.
and breakfast.
Favorite cereal, go.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
this is.
I mean, I would put top two. I'll give
One's
you top
gotta go.
two. Top two favorite cereals.
Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles, Frosted Flakes.
Yeah. Would you eat your Fruity Pebbles like this ever? You think?
Listen,
There's an image
you
for
have
you.
to eat it like
Is it a brand new sock?
you have to eat it.
It looks pretty new, dude. Fresh out the packaging.
You have to eat it like this, or you never get to eat it again. Are you eating it like this?
I mean,
This is a real question.
Yes, the sock's new.
No, it's a dirty sock,
Oh.
and you either have to eat it like this, or you never have to eat cereal again.
in this moment, I'm like, ew, gross. But like, if I go a week without cereal,
You're eating it out of a dirty sock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll eat it out of someone's dirty
Yeah, dude.
underwear.
Kellogg's got a stranglehold on you.
Oh man, they're like, yeah, that sugar really works. Notice
All
how
right.
he didn't say frosted mini wheats.
Hey,
They're only
listen.
half frosted though. The other half
I
isn't
know.
frosted.
It's like, yeah, that's why I eat it because it's healthy.
All right, this one I named
That was sarcasm, everybody.
Take the Stairs.
Does he use a sock? Oh, I saw this. I saw this. Is this the one I saw?
Might be. I should have probably trimmed it a little bit, but that's all right.
So he's in an elevator. He's just waiting for it to open.
Oh, time to
It
get off.
moves immediately.
Oh my God.
I saw that. I saw that.
Little replay. Didn't
Yeah.
realize it played twice, but we'll watch it again.
So as he's walking out, the elevator starts going back up. And he almost, he hits his head. He had to have been injured. He almost got completely,
cut in half.
his kappa was almost detated.
Yeah.
Oh my
seriously.
God.
Jeez, oh man. That's terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah. Take the Stairs. That's what I called it.
Oh, my sister's going to watch this podcast and she's going to text me and go, this is why I don't ride elevators.
yeah.
Be honest, she's not going to watch the podcast.
Yeah,
Unless
she
it's-
probably won't.
Unless it's 5 floors or more, I don't take the elevator.
Really?
Yes.
Is that because you're afraid of elevators?
I hate elevators. Yeah.
Do you hate them because you're afraid of them, or do you just find them are you claustrophobic?
Well, that's the thing. I don't like being close to other people. 1.
Right.
2, I growing up, I got lost in an elevator in my grandma's apartment because all the floors looked the same.
You
3,
got lost in an elevator?
Yeah.
Oh, like you didn't know where you were
I
in
went
the
down,
building.
Yes.
Okay.
And I didn't know what floor she lived on. And then for an hour, I was trying to find my grandma's place. And then I also get my equilibrium
I get that.
gets thrown off when it settles. I don't know.
So there's not a fear.
It's a dizziness that I get.
So there's not a phobia per se of more of just I just don't like to ride in an elevator. Are you afraid it's going to fall down? Because that's what Courtney's thing is. Courtney's like, I'm not going to ride in an elevator. You're in a box in the wall and it could fall.
I mean, there's been rides where I've been like, whoa.
Yeah, but that's the point. Though.
But that's not what keeps me out of the elevator. What keeps me out of the elevator is the
Just a
people
different
and,
discomfort.
And yeah, it's just thrown off my equilibrium.
Do you have a problem with elevators, Brandon?
No, but
don't either.
I mean, I get it. I also get it.
I actually try to use the stairs because I use it as an excuse to just get the blood pumping.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? I have the function to walk upstairs unless it's way too many floors. I'm gonna walk.
One of my biggest pet peeves is when somebody takes the elevator to go
For one
one floor and I'm going up and then they get on and then they go up one floor and get
then they
off.
get
And I'm
off.
just like, bro, take the stairs.
Take the stairs. You can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a lot of gear usually when we travel, so
That's different.
we will take the elevator for those. But sometimes
That's
you get a place
different.
that doesn't have an elevator, you're carrying those stairs up stairs,
Oh, yeah.
and that sucks.
Well, yeah, if you've
Taking
got
the
groceries and
Asteras.
stuff.
yeah.
That's
Up
different.
the stairs.
You're taking the stairs. Stairs. It's in there. You guys can find it. Was that the last one we had?
I have 2 more, but they could be saved if
you want to
if you
save
don't
them?
want to do them.
Yeah,
I
we'll
would say
save
you do
them.
it.
So very cool. super fun.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking some time. I definitely want to talk more about, you said your next project. I'm going to have you back on. You like to keep things a little tight-lipped until you work it out. So when you're ready to talk about the next project, I want to hear about it.
I will talk about it the next time I'm here.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to it. So with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. Does that make sense? The podcast, another episode in the books. Thanks for tuning in. We, next week, pay attention because we've had some clips that have hit on social media and we're going to talk some comments. So keep posting or keep commenting, keep liking, keep sharing the clips that we're posting. And we're going to feature some stuff on future episodes of the podcast and we're going to talk about it. So thanks so much. Thanks again, Brandon and Brandon. Appreciate you, man.
Absolutely.
With that, that's a wrap. We'll see you next week. Stay tuned. Thanks.